Draw the graph of the equation x minus y plus 1 and 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. Determine the coordinates of the vertex of the triangle formed by these lines and the x-axis. Shade the triangle region. Anyways, the second part we have to read it again because that has to do with the graph. And the first thing we have to do is draw the graph itself. So we are looking at writing it in standard form. So we have x, 1x minus 1y plus 1 is equal to 0. 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. Now, so we have to draw the graph, right? The next thing what we have to do is we need not check the ratio over here. For reason being, they didn't ask for it. Okay. So by default, it forms a triangle, means the lines will intersect. So you need not prove anything over here. Directly you can jump to the section wherein you are trying to find the order pair. So to do that, we have expressing x or y in terms of y or x. So we have in equation 1, so from 1 we have 1x minus 1y plus 1. So 1x being equal to plus 1y minus 1 is a good way to express. Next we have from 2, between 2 and 3 I'll go with 2. So we have 2y is equal to minus 3x plus 12. I can further reduce this by dividing with 2, and we have y is equal to minus 3x by 2 plus 6, right? So now, since we got the expression written in the form of a and b, the next thing which we look at is the order pair. Order pair. So how do you find the order pair? From equation 1 and from equation 2. So we have x and y, then we have to take the values. So in this case, we can take y to be equal to, be careful, we have y on the right hand side. So when y is 0, x is minus 1. When y is 1, this is 0. When y is 2, this is 1. Simple math, not too confusing. Then from equation 2, we have x on the right hand side. So we'll substitute for x. This is 6. If this is 2, this is 3. And if this is 4, that will be 0. So for people who are confused with what I just did now, the calculation part, this is for you. So I'm not going to show all of it. I'll just show this case. From 2 sub x is equal to 2. Okay. So y is equal to 3 minus 3 times of 2 divided by 2 plus 6. So we are looking at 2 and 2, that is common. So this is 1 divided by 1. So this entire thing is minus 3 plus 6, which is equal to 3. And that's what we got, right? So now we got the order pair. So what is the question asking? Determine the coordinates of the vertex of the triangle. Okay, anyways, still we need to draw the graph to understand this part. So let's do that. So we are looking at the highest value being 4 in case of y, and least is -1. And in y it's 0 and 6. So not a too difficult graph that we need to plot. So that's good enough. And I think this is good enough. Right? Then we need to mark origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and we need -1, -2. Yeah, I think this is good enough. So now let's mark the stuff. So we have -1 and 0. I'm talking about the first equation. 0 and 1, 1 and 2. So we need to draw the line. Good enough. Now we need to mark 0, 6. 0, 6 is over here. 2, 3 is over here. And 4, 0 is over here. So we have this on the other end. Okay. So now we have the graph. Before we do anything, let's read the question again because they're talking about something with the graph. So we need to read the question to understand what exactly they're asking. So we are looking at determine draw the graph of this thing. Okay, we did that. Determine the coordinates, okay, of the vertex, okay, of the triangle formed by these lines and the x-axis and shade the triangular region. So first thing is, which is the triangle they're talking about? So how many triangles do you see over here in the diagram? Let me mark them. A, B and C, D and E. So it's not that visible. Let me, yeah. So what are the triangles which we're looking at? One is this, and one this entire thing. One is BE, can call this as O, ABC, DEA, to name a few. But what is this exactly asking? Determine the coordinates of the vertex of the triangle formed by these lines. So these two lines. This is equation A or equation 1, and this is equation B. And the x-axis. This is your x-axis, right? Y dash, x dash. So determine the coordinates. So we have to determine point A, B, and C. Point C is clearly 4, 0. Point B is -1, 0. And point A is 2, 3. Okay. Shade the triangle as well. Right? And that's your answer. So you might end up asking, how is this useful? See, there are a few questions wherein you will be asked to find the height of the triangle. So same thing continued. So the height is from the x-axis to the tip of this is 3 units. How did it determine? I looked at the y coordinate because y coordinate is the one which will determine the height. Next, they'll ask the base, the length of BC from here to this point. So what is the length? Any guesses? Is it 3, 4, or 5? It is 5. Simple. If you are confused by using the math over here, just count from one of the ends. So if I count from point C, the first, obviously this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is 5. Right? So such questions will be asked and they will ask you to find the area of triangle ABC. Same continued question. So quite simple, half into base into height, base being 5, height being 3, and this is 7.5 centimeters squared. Okay. So yes, we're not yet completed the diagram. We need to draw the arrows and we need to write the scale. Scale is quite simple. X-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit, and y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. So yeah, other than the labeling of the graph, I think labeling in the sense x and y axis being labeled and the main heading as well. We've not done that. Everything else of the graph is done. And then we have addressed the coordinates part as well. Okay. This 3 points, these 3 coordinates, right? Coordinates. Oh yeah, sorry, vertex. I wanted to make you guys understand vertex. Vertex of the triangle. Any idea what does that mean? Vertex means corners of the triangle. Okay. That's why we're finding these 3 points, A, B, C. That is the first thing that you need to understand. I marked it and I forgot. My bad. But please know this. Vertex of a triangle is the corners of the triangles. Where do they end? Where do they lie? That was the question. So we found that. And the additional things like area of the triangle, height and base is from my end, because that is the general pattern that's been asked and you guys will face such questions in MCQs. And the final answer that the coordinates are minus 1, 0, 4, 0 and 2, 3 has to be written. So let's do that. The final answer, coordinates of vertex are, concerned vertex are minus 1, 0, 4, 0 and 2, 3. Okay, that's it.